Ever feel like giving up, like you don't have the strength to keep going? Well, then look no further than Shawshank Redemption, where main character Andy Dufresne has to fight through the troubles of prison life to find hope and friendship. The Shawshank Redemption begins with the wrongful conviction of Andy Dufresne for the murder of his wife and her lover. Andy is sentenced to life in prison, and it is here where we see how hope is used as a driving force for his character. Despite the injustice of his situation, Andy remains hopeful that one day he will be free. This hope is what keeps him going and enables him to overcome the challenges he faces in prison. Throughout the film, we see how Andy's hope is not just a fleeting feeling, but a deep-seated belief that he holds on to. In one memorable scene, Andy tells Red about his dream of escaping to a beach in Mexico. He describes the feeling of the sand between his toes and the sound of the waves crashing on the shore. It's a powerful moment that shows how hope can inspire and motivate us to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. Red, played by Morgan Freeman, is another character whose hope is on full display in the Shawshank Redemption. Red is a longtime inmate at Shawshank and has become resigned to his fate. However, when he meets Andy, he is inspired by Andy's unyielding hope and begins to believe that there is a future for him outside of these prison walls. One of the most memorable scenes in the film is where Andy plays music over the prison loudspeaker. It is a moment of hope that touches the hearts of all inmates and reminds them that there's still beauty in the world beyond the prison walls. Even the police guards or prison guards are touched. Despite the challenges he faces, Andy never loses hope of sight for a better future. He spends years, I mean years, digging a tunnel to freedom, a symbol of his unwavering belief that one day he'll escape Shawshank prison. This hope drives him forward and ultimately leads to his redemption. In the film's final scene, we see how hope has transformed both Andy and Red. After years of searching, Red finally finds Andy on the beach, living a life of freedom and happiness. It is a moment of hope realized, a testament to the power of hope to inspire and transform us. Hope isn't the only deep meaning behind this film. Institutionalism also plays a major role. Once again, the film begins with the arrival of Andy Dufresne at Shawshank prison, again where he was sentenced to a life in prison for a crime he didn't commit. From the moment he enters the prison, Andy is confronted with the harsh reality of life behind bars, and we begin to see how the institution of prison can have a dehumanizing effect on the inmates. One of the first examples of harsh prison life that we see in the film is the strip search that Andy is subjected to upon his arrival at the prison. The search is a degrading experience that strips away any sense of privacy or dignity that Andy may have had. It is a reminder that he is no longer a person but a number in the system. As the film progresses, we see the institution of prison begins to take a toll on his inmate Red. Red has been in prison for so long that he has become institutionalized, meaning that he has become so accustomed to the routine of prison life that he's unable to function outside of it. When Red is up for parole, he is unable to articulate his hopes or dreams for the future as he's become so conditioned to the idea that he'll spend the rest of his life in prison. This scene highlights how the trials and tribulations of prison can strip away a person's sense of identity and hope, leaving them feeling trapped and powerless. Another character who's deeply affected by these trials is of course Brooks, the elderly inmate who has spent most of his life in prison. When Brooks is released from prison, he finds himself unable to cope with being outside the institution. He's become so accustomed to the routine of prison life that he's unable to function in the outside world. This scene is a powerful reminder of the damaging effects that long-term incarceration can have on a person's mental health and well-being. Again, thankfully, despite the challenges of prison life, the film also highlights hope, as we discussed earlier, when Andy and Red discuss their future plans outside of prison, going down to that beach. Finally, another theme and most important lesson from Shawshank Redemption is the power of friendship. Andy Dufresne and Red, two inmates from very different backgrounds, despite their differences, the two form an unlikely friendship that become their driving force in the film. Their friendship is overall built on mutual respect. Throughout the film, we see how Andy and Red's friendship grows and deepens. One of the most prominent examples of this is when the two play checkers in the yard. The scene highlights how their friendship provides a sense of escape from the harsh realities of prison life and how it allows them to connect with one another on a deeper level. Andy's friendship extends beyond Red, as he also forms connections with the guards at Shawshank. This is exemplified when Andy offers to help the guards with their taxes, a gesture that demonstrates his willingness to connect with others and his ability to see the good in people. The film also shows how friendships can form within the larger community of inmates. When Andy plays an opera record over the loudspeaker system, not only did it bring hope, but it also brings the inmates together in a way that transcends them beyond their individual selves. This scene highlights how friendship can provide a sense of community and belonging, even in the most unlikely of places. One of the most powerful examples of friendship in this film is when Red is up for parole. In his statement, he speaks about his friendship with Andy and how it gives him hope and a sense of purpose for the future. This scene shows how friendship can have a transformative effect on a person's life, providing them with the strength and courage to face the challenges ahead. Overall, whether you value friendship, hope, or the troubles of prison, The Shawshank Redemption has a way of speaking to all of us.